Hello. This is Mark A. Turnipseed, and I am your host today with the Seeds of Change podcast. I am so excited to be with you today because I recognize something very interesting about myself today. As I was walking through my house cleaning, I recognized there was this little piece of like dental floss or string that was laid about in my hallway in a place that I see every single day. I've seen it for the past 3 weeks. 3 weeks I have seen this piece of dental floss and I have yet to pick it up. Why? Why have I yet to pick it up? When I picked it up today, I go, oh man, I am so surprised at myself that I've been looking at this, despising it for the past like 3 weeks. And maybe even a week before that when it landed there, right? Like I've been there and here's what has been going on for me. Okay. So I've been busy, right? And I've been trying to keep up with my personal life. I've been trying to clean my house. I've been trying to tend to everything that I need to tend to. And I've been starting to have to outsource a lot of that stuff because I'm getting more and more busy with business, with podcasting, with writing. But I have yet to do that with cleaning my house. And so I'm still on a schedule where I go about my day and I clean as much as I can. I live an organized life anyway, so things don't get too messy. They don't get too messy, and when they do get a little bit, I can see them. And when I can see a little bit of that mess, I start to feel a little bit uneasy about that mess. I start to get a little bit anxious, right? This anxiety builds up in me because I know I would like to take care of this. And the reason behind me leaving that string on the road that I travel every morning on the stairwell or on the hallway, the reason for leaving that is because every time I look at it, I go, you know what? I'm about to sweep. I'll be sweeping up here my next deep clean, and I won't have to worry about it. That's kind of, a justification for something that's in my life, a little string that's as easy to pick up and just throw into the trash, but I leave it there, unwilling to just pick it up. Or was I unwilling? I'm willing, but I'm justifying. I'm justifying prolonging it. I'm justifying procrastinating it. I hear a lot of people struggle with procrastination. I used to struggle a lot with procrastination. I recognized what procrastination was for the most part for me. And for the most part, procrastination has been about a courage, honestly. It's been about confidence. It's been about depression. I put something off because I don't have the energy to do it. That is a state of depression. That is not having the energy, not finding it inside of myself to find a state of joy surrounding a task or something in my life or my life in general, right? So in that state of depression, how am I to deal with the task at hand? Right? How am I supposed to deal with this task at hand? I'm just going to put it off because in depression it's inactivity. In depression, I don't make advances for myself. In depression, I sit back and watch the world float in front of my eyes. Now, I understand this concept of depression so very deeply that it's driven me to the point of suicide before. But I also understand that with depression, the exact opposite of it is action. That's it. Once I take action, even if I'm depressed, what happens to my blood is it starts to move. It starts to move throughout my body, and I begin to get excited. And if I've been through 10 years of inaction, it's going to take me months until I start to recognize that activity decreases depression. But now in my life where I live a very highly active life, now if I go a couple of days of inactivity or if I go a couple of hours of inactivity, I begin to feel a state of depression. So if I'm walking through my house and I'm beginning to see things in my life that are causing me a state of depression, what do I do about it? I need to take action. I need to take movement. I know in my physical and emotional life, if I'm beginning to feel depressed during my day, I need to get up and move. I need to go for a walk. I need to make a move. Then that move may be to go eat something nice and healthy, or that move may be to rest and to meditate. But I need to take action because I'm becoming emotionally unstable and depressed. And if I'm in that state, I'm not going to be making very good decisions for my business, right? If I'm in that state of depression, I'm not going to be able to take the proper action that's needed for my business, for my company, for my life, okay? So it's very important to be able to notice these little signs of depression throughout my day. Now, when it comes to something as trivial as my house being unkempt as a piece of string can be, it is enough to reflect on, right? That little thing that happened to me. My house is otherwise pretty clean, pretty immaculately clean, really. And there's this piece of string bothering me, causing this little bit of anxiety, but it's a small little nuance of my life. Like, it really doesn't matter too much, but it's there and it's causing a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of depression. Guys, if there's another string, what happens if another string falls? What happens if I look at the next string and I say the same thing? Well, I'm going to pick it up the next week when I get up to sweeping. I'm going to get to it this next week. What if I keep doing that? What if I keep on building inaction? I'm going to end up with a house that's full of the evidence of inaction. It's going to be a messy house. It's going to be a messy house, and that messy house is going to cause me depression. You see how this works all together. The messy house will cause me the depression. And then the curious thing about that is that I am going to now start to blame my messy house for my depression instead of my depression for my messy house. If we could take ownership back of our depression, we could take ownership of that depression and say that it was my inaction. It was my inaction that's causing my depression. I'm so very adamant about this in my life because I've seen it help me and I've seen it help countless other people. The state of depression doesn't have to linger around. It doesn't. It can start with little itty bitty small actions. These are the seeds of life that I'm talking about. These little itty bitty seeds of action can be as much as picking up one string of a messy house, of getting up out of the bed and picking up one string of your messy house. That, my dear, is no less significant than me picking up that string of my otherwise clean house. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? It's just as significant inside of the body, inside of the mind, and inside of the spirit. Me picking up my string and you picking up your string is exactly the same. And we rise together above our depression, one string at a time. We pick up that one string and we feel it. We feel how good it feels. We feel how good it feels to finally take action over something that's been bothering us for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 10 years. When you finally take action, you will be set free. Trust me. 100% of the time. That depression might not leave immediately. And depending on how long that depression has been around, it may take a long time for it to leave. But keep picking up one string at a time. And that compounding interest into our lives, it's like a penny bank. We keep on putting these little small seeds into our life and watch them. Just give it some time and watch them as they begin to fester. They begin to fester with growth of life rather than the spores around your house right now causing anxieties and depression. So come with me, plant some new seeds around your life. Watch it as it grows. Watch the seeds of positivity as they grow. Take a little bit of action. I've got to take it in my life too, because if I leave that string again, it's going to build another depression and anxiety inside of me. That depression and anxiety is going to rip at me every time that I walk by it just a little bit. And if it's ripping at me just a little bit, it's taking a little bit of my energy. That's making me less of my potential, which is no different of what it's doing to you. It's making you less of your potential. The not taking the action is making you less of your potential. So calm down, take a deep breath, glide through an action. You don't even have to do it. All you do is let go. You surrender to whatever else you were doing. If you're walking through your house and you notice a Coke can sitting there that you've been trying to pick up and put into the trash for a few weeks, when you notice it and it hits inside of your heart a little bit of discomfort, instead of running from that discomfort, instead of running from it, pause for a moment, take a deep breath with me, and then give in and just fall into it. Pick up the Coke can on your breath out and start walking to the trash can on your next breath in. And that's it. Then go about your day. You'll be okay. I'll be okay. Actually, you'll be much better than that because you'll have planted a seed of change inside of your life. All right, everybody. I'm over and out. This is Mark A. Turnipseed with Seeds of Change.